I have struggled a lot with trying to define who I am or what I am. I had an amazing opportunity to do my MBA in San Francisco. This was going to be the opportunity that was going to set me forward, give me all the answers I had been seeking. It just seemed like everything lined up. It was ultimately my body that told me I had to make a different decision. My health was not the best, and I started getting really sick, and I was unable to attend classes. It was a manifestation of anxiety and dealing with a lot of my own mental health issues that I think sort of brought on this illness and sent me into the hospital, where I had to just take the time to recover and focus on myself. When I came home, I started working with a few different organizations, doing some contract work with youth artists, and I did an accounting course. I worked at a flower shop with an amazing floral designer and took a lot of the pressure away from going to school or being in a professional career. And at the same time, my partner was in school and I was helping to support him. He was doing architecture, which was very challenging. And in that time, we were also dealing with the grief of losing his dad, which was a very difficult thing for their whole family to go through. Lucas really struggled after that. He eventually turned to using drugs. He couldn't find that balance between work, life, school, and the use of drugs, and eventually it started to take over more and more of his life. When he was in the hospital, we started dancing a lot and then used his passes out from the hospital to go down to the waterfront, and we started busking on the waterfront in Halifax. And it was a lot of fun, and what we found was we had so many young people stopping to speak to us about their own struggles with mental health. So things were going quite well. He relapsed once, which was difficult, but again, we all came together as family and friends and were there to support him and make sure that we would all get through. And in November of last year, he relapsed a second time and he passed away. It was a real shock to the system to have my world completely torn apart like that, when just every reality is instantly taken from you. It's really difficult to deal with finding a new ground and finding a direction and finding any meaning, because it seemed like such a senseless death that in the aftermath you try to grasp for something to hold on to. When so many important things get taken away and you're left with what seems like nothing, really what you find is what's ultimately so important to you. I am the co-founder of Lead With Your Heart, which is an organization where we're raising money to provide alternative creative therapy programs for mental health and addictions. Dance was at the root of Lead With Your Heart, but sort of encompassing all other creative arts is really important in our mandate of moving forward. We had our first major fundraising event last October called the Positive Mental Attitude Show and raised over $15,000 for the organization. My team in Nova Scotia has continued to run different workshops, all to raise awareness for mental health and Lead With Your Heart. I have absolutely learned resilience, I have learned determination, and I've learned so much about who I am.